In the dawn of the 19th century, a new resource was rapidly changing the face of America. It was oil, at a time when whale oil was becoming scarce and expensive, and the discovery of petroleum, a fossil fuel that can be refined into useful products, provided a viable alternative. Oil refineries began cropping up across the country, and the industry was set on a course for exponential growth. At the helm of this burgeoning industry was one company, Standard Oil. Founded in 1870 by John D. Rockefeller and his business partners, Standard Oil quickly became a titan of the oil industry. Through a series of aggressive business strategies and mergers, the company secured vast control over oil refineries across the nation. However, Standard Oil's dominance did not go unnoticed, and public sentiment began to sour against what many believed was a monopoly. In the early part of the 20th century, the US government, armed with the Sherman Antitrust Act, took the matter to court. The case, known as United States versus Standard Oil, was a landmark moment in American history. In 1911, the Supreme Court indeed found that Standard Oil had violated the Antitrust Act. The company was ordered to dissolve and split into 34 separate entities. This ruling marked a significant moment in American history, shifting the balance of power from corporations back to the government, and setting a precedent for the regulation of monopolies. The aftermath of the breakup has seen the rise of several major oil companies, many of which can trace their origins back to Standard Oil. The breakup of Standard Oil had a profound impact on the oil industry. The 34 separate entities, initially competitors over time, began to merge and consolidate once again. Many of these companies remain household names today, such as Exxon, the original Standard Oil of New Jersey, and Mobil, the original Standard Oil of New York. They merged to become ExxonMobil, and Chevron, another descendant, absorbed Standard Oil of California. Even the mighty Saudi Aramco, the state-owned oil company in Saudi Arabia, and widely acknowledged as one of the most valuable companies in the world today, can also trace its origins back to Standard Oil. The Saudi Kingdom founded it in partnership with Standard Oil of California, and as discussed earlier, which is today known as Chevron Corporation. These mergers and acquisitions have continued into the 21st century, shaping the oil industry as we know it today. The descendants of Standard Oil continue to yield significant control on the world stage, contributing to a complex and ever-evolving industry landscape. But did the breakup actually have an impact on Rockefeller's dominance in the market? Let's take a look. Although Standard Oil was broken up, Rockefeller retained his shares in the newly formed entities. This meant that he had significant ownership in all 34 of the brand new entities. After the breakup of Standard Oil, the stock prices of the newly formed entities ballooned, and Rockefeller benefited immensely. The value on the stocks on the 34 new entities far outweighed the value of the original Standard Oil holding as a single entity. So even though the intention of the breakup was to diminish the power of Standard Oil, it actually ended up increasing the value of the Rockefeller holdings. While the breakup did create multiple entities that were supposed to compete with each other, in reality, many of these different sibling companies operated in different regions with their own niches, which reduced direct competition amongst them and allowed each to flourish in its own little niche. As the owner of significant stakes in all these major companies, Rockefeller's influence in the oil industry remained substantial. His wealth and power wasn't just tied to one company anymore, it was spread amongst multiple different entities in the industry. The breakup also had a public relations angle. By complying with the court's decision and not resisting the breakup, Rockefeller and Standard Oil were seen in a more favourable light by the general public. This improved the public image and solidified his position in the business world. The Rockefeller power machine was such that it was able to diversify into other areas of business. For example, the Rockefellers had a controlling interest in Chase National Bank, which would later merge with the Bank of Manhattan Company to become Chase Manhattan Bank. Under the leadership and influence of the Rockefellers, it became one of the most largest and influential banks in the world. The family also had interest in First Boston Corporation, an American investment bank which was a major player in the banking industry until its merger with Credit Suisse. In conclusion, the court case that led to the breakup of Standard Oil was a pivotal moment in American history. It demonstrated the government's willingness to step in and regulate monopolies, reshaping the business landscape and setting precedents that are still relevant today. The legacy of this court case will continue to reshape the oil industry and serves as a reminder of the power of regulation in maintaining balance in a competitive market. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think the breakup really did hurt Rockefeller? Or did the breakup do more for the Rockefeller family than anybody could have imagined? Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear from you all. If you got any value out of this video and you want to see more like it, please like, comment or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.